I'm not gay. But I will have sex with you. So, I dabble in a lot of things. I'm a dabbler. I like options. So yeah, I haven't been doing comedy for a while. I've been back in school. I've been doing a lot of STEM work. But let's just get back into it. Let's just delve deep. Let's just delve deep. Anybody ever have problems? Yeah. Anybody ever specifically have problem number 7 on the take-home exam? Did you get square root of 29? No? What about part C? Did you get that it was just 1? Did you call it unity because you're alternative STEM? Yeah, I got problems. The thing is, I think it's funny is that like as a STEM student, I feel like people make a lot of assumptions about you. They're just like, oh, you're into science. You must believe in gravity. I don't believe in that shit. Only God can hold me down. God's a giant magnet in the middle of the earth, holding my little pinky toe down. And when you sin too much, God lets that pinky toe go. You float into space and you die. Blessed be. Stay blessed. To be stressed, you know what I'm saying? I imagine that's how like flat earthers, just like that's like their like mental logic plan. If you're a flat earther, don't care if you laugh at this joke. You might think this joke is flat. It's me dry humping their ear. But I do think that that's like the logic puzzle. It's like, okay, so we start at the beginning and then we ended at don't care. Your science is fake. Anyway, like I think that one of the hardest things about being a dark-skinned black woman in STEM is being a dark-skinned black woman in STEM. So I was in this class and we had like we had to read this paper about racial inequality in STEM, and it was so fun for me reading things I already knew. But then like the best part was the discussion, because the classic thing happened where we're having the discussion and everyone's like, oh my god, it's like racism penetrated science. And so like for any like group question that we had, everyone just did that like full like 180 turn to me. Like, what is it? Tell us. I'm like, oh, this isn't my job, but I definitely felt like, oh, okay, yeah, no, for sure. I woke up today and I put on a million black women so I can talk about this for all of us. In the back, is this good for you? Because it's terrible for me. It's really bad for me. I already have minor sclerosis, but let's just go. But really, it was more like a Russian doll. Like I was like a Russian doll of black women. And then when you got through to the final layer, it was just me just yelling, "Racism is bad!" You had to get through each layer, and then all of them were just taking notes. Racism is bad. I hope there's not a quiz. Fuck. There was a quiz, and it's who wrote that down, because we're no longer friends. You all failed. I want to be like outside of the identity of being both amazing at comedy, amazing at science, amazing at walking into a bar and making friends with everyone. It's like, what don't I crush? At this point. That's the real question. Where is the beginning and the end when they all look the same and you're dope? I don't know. That's a question someone else has to answer tonight. But I do have this like ultimate goal of being like the nicest, scariest person. And I know you're already thinking like, you seem nice and you're black. You're already the nicest, scariest person. You crushed it. Go home. But imagine me the way I am, but also 250 pure muscle. I'm only 50 pounds of muscle away. Such a almost reachable goal if I could move my arms that fast. But could you really imagine that? Like, real world setting. Someone's got a flat tire. I walk over like this because I've got too many muscles. And I say, hey, how's it going? Testosterone just like hits you real hard in the throat. Hey, how's it going? My mom's a mechanic. You doing all right? I think I can help. Is that not the nicest, scariest thing you've ever heard? And then if you've got that like self-recognition of that entrenched racism, you're like, oh God, I can't tell if I'm scared that she's gonna rob me or that she's gonna help me. And then my narrative has to change. I'm gonna rob you. I'm really great. I need a car. I don't need your friendship. Honestly, it's all about self-preservation at this point. I want to talk about my mom a little bit because she's like the best human I've ever met. So, like, I grew up in a like African Muslim household, and I forget, living in Olympia, you forget because look around. But I forget that. No, like, nothing's gonna be normal up here. And if it is normal, I'm hella fucked up, That means I am from here. Yikes. I should probably move. But I think, like, the hardest thing is just, like, assessing that. And whenever I go back home and just, like, visit my family and see them, it really reminds me of that. I was like leaving my mom's house, and my brother had my suitcase in his trunk, and he and I were in a fight, and my mom was like, hey, I know you can't get that suitcase right now, but I packed you a suitcase. And I was like, what? You don't have any of my clothes anymore. What does this even mean? She's like, just take the suitcase. And I'm like, I know how this argument goes. I'm gonna take the fucking suitcase. And so I take the suitcase, I get back to Olympia, I open it up, it's just full of shoes. Just full of shoes. None of them the same size. And I call my mom up and I'm like, why the fuck? Why the fuck would you do this to me? And she's like, you can share them with your friends. And just hangs up. That's the kind of community that the Northwest doesn't know about. You're not built for that kind of strength. Kind of adaptability. What did I do? I shared them with my friends because I'm not a fucking idiot. We've all got so much to learn. This is kind of a hard pill to swallow, but I feel like it's good to talk about it. I recently got 86 from McCoy's. Hell yeah. That's the kind of response I want. All the people that were 86, let's do shots there later. Bring only cash. They can't remember all of our faces. Community. Bring a suitcase full of cash. Share it with all your friends. When I got 86 from McCoy's, because McCoy's does suck. Can y'all agree? Okay. Yeah. They let white supremacists in. They let white people in. They pretty much let they let white people in. No, don't cover your mouth. You're telling the truth. Yeah. This set's for Jim in the back. You can't see him? Yeah! He's doing the Lord's work, getting you all drunk, making sure you're ready. When I got 86 from McCoy's, I realized I had this moment where I was like journaling, because I'm that person who's like, gotta fight Alzheimer's. And so I was like journaling about it, and I got to a point where I was like, I'm really glad that I got 86 from McCoy's, because that means I really should leave Olympia. This is at the point where, like, honestly, I don't believe in predestination, but maybe that's like a little dash in predestination. Like maybe this is part of God's plan, and God is like, don't go there anymore. You've never liked it. You only go there because it makes you feel better than the scumbags you talk to. And so I just want to get to a place in my life where I can tell that story to my adopted children, because that's not what vaginas are for. I just want to tell them, like, hey, I got out. You can too. I assume they're all in prison. We all have our destinations, right? But then when I also think about predestination, and I think about the fact that I have been living out of my clean hamper drawer for 2 months now, I'm like, is that part of God's plan? That I don't do laundry, or are we both just lazy and don't want to argue? So we're like, yeah, sure, God's plan, fine. But also, I just want to take a nap on Thursday, and you keep asking me for shit. And at this point, you've been kicked out of McCoy's. You're on your own, dog. Like, I don't care if Satan takes you. You are still going into McCoy's after being 86. Do you have a personal problem? Don't put it on me. Journal more. I'm going to end with a classic because it's my favorite joke, and I have friends who are here who've never heard it, so I'm going to end with a classic. Here we go. So, I get catcalled a lot. And I fucking get it, you know, like, I fucking get it. Like, the thing about it is that, like, I just wish that it was, like, a little bit more romantic, you know? Like, if you're gonna catcall me, like, make it a little bit more romantic. Like, write me a note. Put it into a tiny envelope. Make it like a little airplane. Throw it at me. I catch it. Oh, what whimsy! I open it up and it's like, hey girl in the black, I know you hear me. Fine, be a bitch then. Thank you guys so much.
You didn't have to talk about my letter. I wrote you one letter. Jeez. That was a private moment. I know you hear me. All right, you guys, we reached that very special moment.